A spectacular Players Amateur has wound up. They got in all 72 holes this year. Adrian Morris, the general manager out at Berkeley Hall, is joining us. Adrian, a terrific week, a new champion, almost a repeat champion. Your impressions of the week?
I think it was fantastic. Thank the Lord we got 4 rounds in for the first time in 3 years, so we were really pleased with that. And there was a couple of close calls with the weather, but it just everything seemed to go around us, and what a great championship. It was exciting right down to the very end, and we were absolutely thrilled. Great champion.
From your end of it, from an operational standpoint, you got more people in than you have gotten in ever before to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Every year it seems that it grows more and more. 3 years ago, when we did the first one at Berkeley Hall, it was we had about 300 or 400 people, and I think I counted this year just over 1,000 people came through the gates. So, you know, it's growing. It's more and more people seeing behind the gates at Berkeley Hall and seeing what we have to offer and watch some great golf. So it was a great success for everybody.
Absolutely.
In between Berkeley Hall and Steve Wilmot and the Heritage, there's been a really great partnership formed there. Can you give us a little bit more insight on that?
Absolutely. They're such, the guys from Steve Wilmot and his whole team are, what a great group of professionals. You know, they put on one of the best PGA Tour events every year, and then they come to Berkeley Hall, and it's a very cohesive team. We all work extremely well together, and we actually all like each other, and we all get on very well. And it's a great group, and everybody works from the marketing side very well together, all the way through to the operational side, and it's a great group.
Adrian, we talked a little bit about taking people behind the gates at Berkeley Hall. You mentioned that just a moment ago. What they see when they get there is something to behold. Tell us a little more about that. Yeah,
it's one of those things. Yeah, I've worked there for 6 years, being the general manager there for 6 years, and I still pinch myself every time I walk through drive through the front gate. It's spectacular. It's a beautiful facility. We spend a lot of time maintaining it and trying to get it perfect every time anybody comes through the gates, and it's beautiful. And we're delighted to host this event and be able to show off Berkeley Hall, and the members in particular like to show off Berkeley Hall and how beautiful it is, and what a great facility it is. So
the guys on the grounds crew a little tweaked that somebody shot 62 on their golf course on Friday. The young Canadian who almost won the tournament.
Absolutely.
62. You guys can't. Not supposed to give that up, huh?
Yeah, we were all a little taken back with that. We did make a few little tweaks, but you know, he was way far ahead. I think the next lowest round behind him, I think it was 2 or 3 under, and he was 10 under, and unbelievable round. He was on. I watched him play a few of the holes, and it was just tremendous. He was really on that day. So. Yeah.
And for you, what have been some of the most memorable moments in these past 3 years over at Berkeley Hall with the Players Amateur?
I think there's been a lot. I think the one thing that stands out for me more than anything else is the relationship now that's been built between our members and the players. They talk to each other after they leave Berkeley Hall after the event. They watch them, keep an eye on them in the newspapers and other amateur events. They call each other, and then they come back to the same home again. And what was interesting, I spoke to a lady who was sitting beside 18 green for about 2 hours, and I said, "What are you doing sitting here?" She said, "I'm waiting for my guy." And I think that was the success of the whole process. I think they've really developed a relationship with the players, and I think that was really what we set out to do in the beginning, and they're really enjoying it. So it's been a lot of fun, and I think that's what I've enjoyed more than anything else.
Yeah, everybody has a guy that they host or they get to meet through this that they can follow along, like Brian Harmon, who, although he's from Savannah, we think of him more as a Players AM champion who then goes on and wins the same weekend on the PGA Tour. And that really brings it all together, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Adrian, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you guys at Berkeley Hall for all that you do for amateur golf and hosting the Players AM, and thanks for joining us.
Not at all. It's a pleasure.